this portion of our service is dedicated to Our Daily Bread. It's affectionately known to us here at CCC as ODB. It's a word to be used for your daily devotion. If you'd like to download their app, you can do so at odb.org. If you're here in the sanctuary and you would like a large print physical copy, raise your hands. One of our ushers will get one to you. And now, let's welcome my darling wife, Dee Dee, for this morning's ODB.
Good morning, everyone. Yes, today's word is coming from February 4th, and it's entitled, "What is Your Name?" Don't call me Naomi, call me Mara, because the Almighty has made my life very bitter. Jen remarried after her first husband died. The children of her new husband never accepted her, and now that he's passed away too, they hate her for remaining in their childhood home. Her husband left a modest sum to provide for her. His kids say she's stealing their inheritance. Jen is understandably discouraged, and she has grown bitter. Naomi's husband moved the family to Moab, where he and their 2 sons died. Years later, Naomi returned to Bethlehem empty-handed, except for her daughter-in-law, Ruth. The town was stirred and asked, "Can this be Naomi?" Ruth 1:19. She said, "They shouldn't use that name, which means my pleasant one. They should call her Mara, which means bitter. Because I went away full, but the Lord has brought me back empty." Is there a chance your name is bitter? You've been disappointed by friends, family, or declining health? You deserved better, but you didn't get it. Now you're bitter. Naomi came back to Bethlehem bitter, but she came back. You can come home too. Come to Jesus, the descendant of Ruth, born in Bethlehem. Rest in his love. In time, God replaced Naomi's bitterness with joyful fulfillment from his perfect plan. He can replace your bitterness too. Come home to him. The reading for today is from Ruth 1:3-8 and 15-21. And it reads, "Now Elimelech, Naomi's husband, died, and she was left with her 2 sons. They married Moabite women, one named Orpah and the other Ruth. After they had lived there for about 10 years, both Mahlon and Chilion also died, and Naomi was left without her 2 sons and her husband. When Naomi heard in Moab that the Lord had come to aid his people by providing food for them, she and her daughter-in-laws prepared to return home from there. With her 2 daughters-in-law, she left the place where she had been living and set out on the road that would take them back to the land of Judah. Then Naomi said to her 2 daughters-in-laws, "Go back, each of you, to your mother's home. May the Lord show you kindness as you have shown kindness to your dead husbands and me." Ruth 1:15-29. Look, said Naomi, your sister-in-law is going back to her people and her gods. Go back with her. But Ruth replied, don't urge me to leave you or turn back from you. Where you go, I will go. Where you stay, I will stay. Your people will be my people. Your God, my God. Where you die, I will die, and there I will be buried. May the Lord deal with me, be ever so severely, if even death separates you and me. When Naomi realized that Ruth was determined to go with her, she stopped urging her. So the two women went on until they came to Bethlehem. When they arrived in Bethlehem, the whole town was stirred because of them, and the women exclaimed, can this be Naomi? Don't call me Naomi, she told them. Call me Mara, because the Almighty has made my life very bitter. I went away full, but the Lord has brought me back empty. Why call me Naomi? The Lord has afflicted me. The Almighty has brought misfortune upon me. As I was reading this, the urge in my spirit was, the Lord doesn't put anything on you. Okay? Some things we cause ourselves by stepping out of his will. And her husband stepped out of the will. He thought he was going to a place that there wasn't any famine and there was going to be a life for them. But it made it worse. So Naomi's name means pleasant, and Mara means bitter. Do you have bitterness in your life? What is your name? The Lord has many names. And some of his names are Jehovah Rapha, our God, our good shepherd, Jehovah Jireh, our provider, Jehovah Shalom, our peace, Jehovah Rophe, our healer, Jehovah Tsidkenu, our righteousness, Jehovah Shamu, God who is there, Jehovah Nisi, our banner of victory, Jehovah Mekedesh, our sanctification. What does God say your name is? Has life come on you and you're bitter and you named yourself bitter? You've named yourself angry. You've named yourself disappointed. You've named yourself poor. You've named yourself a victim. What have you named yourself? Yourself. You named you. But what does God have to say about you? God has a name for you. And I'll tell you about it in just a second. He is a wonderful God, isn't he not? He brought you out of the miry clay, did he not? So you can't call yourself those names anymore. You say, I am blessed. I am prosperous. I am talented. I am created. I am forgiven. I am redeemed. I am free. I am valuable. I am equipped. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I am nurturing and growing. I am God's seed of greatness. And I have his seed of greatness within me. Becoming all he has created me to be. I am a child of the Most High God. So you are no longer named bitter. You are no longer named angry. You are no longer named any of those names. All of those names. Jesus is above them all. And when you come to Jesus, you are walking in his ways, what he says about you. I'm going to take the liberty of reading a poem that was written by Sister Sharon's niece. And it pulls all of this together. Do not be afraid, for I have ransomed you. I have called you by name. You are mine. Isaiah 43:1. No matter how often I tell you, do not be afraid, you approach crisis moments, life in fear. That's natural. I understand. But I want you to grow beyond that. I want your heart to trust me so easily that your first reaction in troubling situations is not to wonder if I'm going to work it out. But you to look to me on what I will do. Your spiritual reflex needs to bring you to a place of rest, not of worry. I have never let you go, and I never will. Do you understand why? I have invested a lot in this relationship. I have ransomed you at no small cost to myself. It was painful to do so, but I willingly accepted that pain. I have called you by name, completely aware from the beginning of who you were, are, and will be. I saw the end of your story before it began, and I chose you in that light. I did not begin a relationship with you only to be disappointed. I did not cultivate your love only to give you up on it later. I did not lead you down this, I know the end. It's going to work out well for you, no matter how things appear right now. When I calm your nerves, remind you that I'm with you, you have a choice. You can remain stressed and worried, or you can believe me and relax. These are your options. Far too many people choose to continue in worry and stress, but they are wasting their energy. They have forgotten the nature of our relationship. You, however, must remember that I don't speak empty words when I say, do not be afraid. It's because I know you have nothing to fear. Lord, stress is a natural instinct, but I want my heart to be intuitively to rest in you. Fill me with trust in you, in your peace and your purpose at the sound of your voice. Amen. He knows you.